Okay, right. So I'm going to explain to you what I've done. I've got my piece of board, okay, and I laid two thicknesses of that paper, the one that I showed you, the roll. So there's two thicknesses, because when I tried to draw, I just tried to draw a test line, and it were picking up the little bobbles on the back face. So I've laid it with two layers, okay. And then what I did is I measured from here, that edge on the long edge to there to that edge, and I put a number, and I measured from there to that edge, and I put the number, and I averaged the number, and it was 912, right? 912. I did the same thing here and here, right? I measured it there like that, and I measured it there like that, and I'm not affiliated to anybody. No, none of this stuff. I'm not affiliated to anybody. I use that. Why do I use it? Because I got that from Tool Station. It was the cheapest tape measure they had. And I've been buying Minotaur. I'm used to Minotaur now because I bought these bits. And I get a wad of those from Tool Station. These bits are fantastic. I've been hammer impact ones, okay? But because I got those and I found that tape on Tool Station and it was the cheapest one, it's a 5 metre, 16 foot Minotaur tape, okay? It's just a tape measure. It doesn't have any, it's got no, and I hate some of the features on it, but it's just a tape measure, okay? It's double sided, it's got measurements on both sides of the tape. It's slick as hell, so it slips in your fingers. And no product is perfect, okay? Pick yourself up a tape measure, get a decent one, get within reason. Put that up there, and I measured that number there, and I put it up there, and I measured that number, and I got it as close. If it goes over, if your number goes over and it don't equal an equal division, ignore that last digit and just go, 540, okay? If it's 542, ignore it. Just say 540, which is exactly what I did. I did it, yeah, it's 540. I put 541, but I've changed it to 540, okay? That's 912. That's a nice, easy way to divide. I've got my calculator, because I can't do these in my head. Use your calculator and make sure it's accurate. Get a good, little decent £2 job, whatever it is on your phone or whatever. 912 divided by 2, my calculator says it's 456. So, the long dimension, you divide, you get your tape measure, and I put this reference mark in. It says everything from that one and that one, okay? Don't ever put your measurements off this side now, because you're using this edge. You measured from there and you measured from there. So I went 456, and can you see it? There's a little speck there, 456. I went 456, can you see it? The tiny little speck there, that's my 2 points. And I've got this big 1 metre ruler, and it's thick and it's good, and I use it all the time. It doesn't have a manufacturing thing on it. I just got it off eBay. I bought 3, all different sizes. Right, then I did the same thing again. 270, so I used this face, and I went down 270, and I drew that little pip. This line didn't exist. I drew that little pip, and I went right over here to the other end, just a bit from the other end, because you've got a golden rule built into your head, and it says do it there. Your brain will tell you to do it there or whatever, but that's your golden rule in your head. Never mind the golden rule and golden rule. From there, I went down 270, and there's your little tick. And then, once I had my ticks, I got this, and I very, very accurately lined it up on them ticks, and I drew that line carefully. I drew it from the centre, and I went that way, and I drew it from the centre, and I went that way. Sort of, centre there, and I drew it. Same thing with that. I drew that accurately. Now, everything on here is reference to this edge, but I'm never going to use this edge and that edge ever again, right? While this sheet lasts, never ever touch that edge or that edge again. Everything that you measure on here, you want to do it from this centre line. If you don't have a T, even if you had a T, I still won't come off them edges. This is my reference line, and I checked it with a square, just to see if it is square. Right, so I put it, I don't know if you can see it, I've put it there, okay, and I put it on, and I brought it down till it was on the line, okay, and it's close, okay? Within the margin. You can piss about with these things till the cows, whatever, monkeys or whatever it's in your region, comes home, okay? 90 degrees, it's done. Right, so it's 90 degrees there, 90 degrees there, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees there, boom, done. 90 degrees. So now you can do everything, you reference everything off of here, okay? You can split this up now if you want. You can go from here and put a line here. And you can go from there and put a line in the centre there, so you only have to dimension from here to here, but your accuracy is reducing. Every time you go further away from here, you're chaining, you're inaccurate. The dimensions are becoming inaccurate. The more you go away and stop using the reference, okay? So everything you should be doing it from there. So you don't need a ruler that long, right? You don't need a ruler that long. You just get yourself one of them, okay? That's probably enough. You don't need it. Get yourself a good one of them. They're cheap. Get that one on Temu. Pick it up, £6, whatever it is. But make sure you get good engineering. I cannot stress this. Make sure you get good engineering rulers. Don't get crap. Get good ones. Everything's coming from here. Then you want to get yourself a little square. Go to WH Smith's or whoever's still left. Get yourself one of them triangular thing, okay? It looks like that, okay? It's just a piece of cheapy thing. And then get yourself a protractor. It's one of them. It looks like that. You can get all different ones. This is a 360, 120 diameter. Where did it come from? Smith's. What did I pay for it? 99 pence when I bought it 15,000 years back. You know, when Smith's was still functioning. That's what I bought. You don't draw angles, you just draw your angles and stuff. You can develop angles with a compass. You can get a little cheap compass set, helix compass set or whatever, and just do your drawings. You're just drawing. You can do... Stick a piece of paper on there. You could just stick a piece of paper, a little bit of A4 paper or whatever there, just stick it down and just reference off there and just draw an A4. You want to... Whatever you want to do, you can stick it to this or draw direct on there, or whatever you want to do, you can do. Every time you draw a piece of paper and then pull it away, make sure that you remember those lines, right? Make sure you remember these numbers and do the line so you get this centre back every time. Draw it on every sheet of paper that you can do direct on here and rub it off if you want. It's up to you. I'll take a snapshot of it and then rub it off. But that's a drawing board now. You put that away somewhere where it's not going to get... Make sure you put the back, this paper, to the back, so that when you walk past, you don't rip it off. Okay, and that's it. That's your drawing board. It's done in 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and you don't need any more than this. Believe me, you don't need it. Once you've got that, you can do drawings all day long, You don't need to worry about it. Drawing on that and I'm drawing on that. So what I'm going to do, it's not a meter, okay? So I can't draw full size on here. I'm going to use what I'm going to use, and I'm going to get a bit of paper, and I'm going to stick it here, okay? And I'm going to go to wherever I can, as far as I can go, right? And then I'm going to get it, pick it up. I'm going to draw a reference line on it, referenced off of there. And I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to move it that way, right? And I'm going to measure my reference line and then stick it down and get the rest of me, whatever. So if I want the 2 metre long, I'll just do that. I'll reference it and keep referencing it. The edges on there are accurate. It's rolled on the machine and cut accurate, so you can forget about it. Use that paper, you can forget about it. If you get an A4 size piece of paper, the edges are very, very precise. You can trust them. With a tolerance margin, you can trust them. Okay, so I'm going to find a bit of A4 paper, and I'm going to tell you what size this is in relation. I don't have an internet or anything down here to tell me what the sizes are, and I can't remember them in my head. I really can't. I just don't hold them. All I know is it's 220 and 280 or something. You know, I don't even know what that is for an A4. So I'll get a piece of A4 and I'll drag it along and I'll try to explain. Okay.